we're gonna see if we can make this work.
Yep.
I'm gonna, which we can answer questions that come on here later. That's why I have this. You guys out there listening right now, we're not recording on the audio yet, but we will in just a minute. Fine. And I'm on the wrong spot. Jake, how you doing, bud? Trying to figure out. Go back to here. This is where I gotta find. Here it is. This is what we need to find. So I need you guys to let me know if like the high quality audio that's coming through from this oh, that's not bad. Hello, hello. That's bad. That sound. It's a little bit lag on our. Yeah, that I can hear you, but also lots of static. We're gonna fix it. Try this. Might get. How's it now? Can y'all hear it? Let me see. Oh, see, we're back. We're back with static. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna. Why it's doing that? Oh, I think I know why. I don't think I can run this charger at the same time. It's gonna come back again if I didn't fix it. It's a little bit of lag. So we're not really like logged in. It's just like we're watching.
There we go.
How does it sound now? How you guys out there? I wonder if we fixed it. We might have fixed it. How does it sound now? How you guys out there? Yeah, I think we fixed it. Perfect. Nope, it's back. It was good, but back now. Perfect. Yep, good to go. Sound is gone now. So I'm just gonna mute it on here because it sounds like it's fine.
Yep.
All right, guys. So hang on. We got a really, really special friend of mine that I've been friends with for a long time, and I've been wanting to get him on the podcast, and today's the day for that. So we're going to do a little intro, and I'll tell you about him in a second. So we got to record for the audio. And again, you guys listening, this is available on all audio platforms. That's the main part where I use this. But, yeah, I guess it's also on here, too.
What up, guys? It's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life of Missouri.
Hey everyone, this is Evan with Turf Nerds, a lawn care podcast.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
And you're listening to the Lawn Care Talk with Tony Rudolph.
All right, guys, how you doing? It's a great day. Today is, I think it's Monday, and a friend of mine, he he's an awesome guy. Started a lawn care business many, many years ago, and actually still works at an operation that manufactures stuff for tire repair. And just a really cool guy. And he actually took time out of his week right now to stop by on his way home from work and jump on the podcast. So, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
His name's Shawn. He's an awesome guy. Man, he got a beautiful new Ram 1500 truck. It's sitting out here right in front of us, and it's awesome. It's red with black wheels. Man, this thing is nice. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and how did you start in the business? Why did you start a business? You work at a rubber manufacturing company. You're not like a bottom of the line, worker there. Why would you start a lawn care business in the first place? Because most people would think, hey, I got my 40 hours, right? Why am I about to do something like this,
Yeah.
Put
Really,
this up a little here,
okay.
like there.
All right.
Yeah, that's nice.
So yeah, pretty standard. Was looking for extra cash type thing on the side. Just trying to squeeze in an extra vacation every year. And kind of got into it, just looking for something that I could do, 1 or 2 days a week. There was a gentleman locally that was selling a business. I think it's been about 7 years now. And he spoke my language and said, yeah, I'll sell you my accounts. I'll take payments on them. And I'm all about a payment at that time. So launched into it, and I bought 18 accounts off of them, and went to Alabama to go to Safford and picked up one of those lawn care kits and kind of started it from there. And it just, within the first 2 years, it blew up. So it's been pretty good.
So you didn't start with a push mower like some people did. That's a benefit of already having some kind of job. Some people starting this with $0 and they don't even have another job. Well, obviously they're gonna do that kind of thing. And guys, we will answer some questions, but just not right this second, because but we will.
Yeah.
But so you started. So what year is this? What year is this that you started?
This is 2018 or 19, probably 18.
Oh wow,
2018. Yeah,
I got you. So you're what?
6 years going on
6
7 years now.
seasons
Yeah.
in?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So how did you? So you start out. So how many accounts did you get from the guy?
So I started off with 18 accounts, and then none of them had contracts, which I wasn't smart enough to say, hey, is there contracts, or look into that type of thing. I really just started off of kind of just watching YouTube videos and on how to get going with it, and didn't think to ask if any of them were contracted. So immediately I lost 5 accounts as soon as I took it over.
Oh wow!
So it was almost an instant. Holy cow! They're like, we'll just find somebody else. We like the old man. We're not gonna go with the younger guy, and
right,
things of that
absolutely,
nature.
yes,
But,
yeah, and that's natural when you someone sells a business. There is a.
but that
pretty
being said, that
percent.
same year, even though we lost 5 or 6 accounts that first year, we gained 8. So it really evened itself out just for being out and about, having a mower on the back of your truck. It just immediately picked up, especially out in in our area, which is. We're a dime a dozen. So
I completely forgot how you got started, or I don't even know if I ever even asked you. A few years ago, guys, on the channel, maybe this was 2 or 3 years ago, we did a setup video of his house, and you showed a setup and that kind of thing. That was cool. But this is kind of even something a little different. That's neat.
Yeah.
But I forgot, or I don't know if I ever asked you how you had got started in your business. And yeah, that makes sense now. So you bought it from the guy that used to mow Crow Marine.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that guy. He wasn't super nice, but
No,
I
not at all.
remember, I've met him one time. Me and my brother, when I was young, I was 16, 17 years old. He was mowing a yard next to one that me and Zach were mowing, and man, he was pretty mad that I didn't have my flat, it was just blown out of the side of the mower.
Yeah.
Which I was way far from where he was, but he was like.
I will say this though, that man, when you could tell what yards he did, his crepe myrtles were trimmed to about chest height. The bases of them would be about that big around, but they'd be this tall.
Yeah.
Which anybody that trims crepe myrtles knows, that's not the. But we called it crepe murder. So.
Yeah. But that's cool. So you kind of, you're kind of like an opposite type of person as him, and so so the people that. Did stick with you. They would be if they just could get going with it, they would be very blessed, very surprised in a good way, to talk with you, that kind of thing. So that was cool. So you So you got 18. You say you lost 3, so you still had 15 of the 18 that you had started with.
I had 12 or 13 that I started off with, so I lost about 5 right off the rip. And I think we gained. I had to look back at the numbers and exactly how many we gained that year, but we gained more than we lost. So, and a lot of them were like same road right next door to each other.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, yeah.
So 18 was maybe after you picked up a few of yours.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
new ones.
Correct.
Because once you get out and about and you get moving and that kind of thing, that's neat. What is that when you had the F-150? Is that what you
Yes.
started with? You
Yeah,
had
yeah.
I think a white.
Yeah.
white
It was
F-150
2006, I think, F-150 single
Okay.
cab. Yeah.
I think that was the first time I ever saw you. I saw you at the dollar store one time.
Yeah.
The one over there by Sweet Neats, and yeah. And I started seeing your signs. So you started going bananas on those yard signs, like
Yeah.
when you're starting out, which is cool.
Those were, so in marketing terms, those and the Nextdoor app have always been my biggest money makers as far as what pays off dividends in marketing. So nothing beats the good old fashioned yard sign, and I'll stick them everywhere. The one thing that I always thought was the most helpful was across the street from the entrance of the Dollar General and across the street from the dump. Anywhere where people are pulling out of constantly, if they can look at your sign, I would get 2 or 3 phone calls a day just from that one sign being across the street from the Dollar General. So
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty good.
And so they still work good for you now.
I don't put them out anymore.
I got you.
Yeah, actually now the website channels so much more my direction than the signs ever did. Even though the signs were amazing, the website, and now it's just, now obviously when you get a little bit bigger, you can pick and choose what you want. You're not taking on. So now it's, okay, we kind of feed, well, where are you? What is it? And the website, I probably still to this day, even today, I got 2 or 3 phone calls just from the website. So it's pretty good.
So from the website itself, or is it from Google My Business?
So I think it's mainly just Google My Business. And I say the website just because I think we're listed number 3 on Google right now.
Yeah, ranked on Google. Yeah.
So it's, it's basically a Google search, but I do get a lot of inquiries on the website. So people will send me a message through the website. So that's a big deal too. So, but yeah, mainly the Google thing.
Well, but so it's Google, and then from there they go to your website, and then they fill out the little form, and and I feel like that's probably going to get you some more quality people, because sometimes I don't know this because I've never done the lawn signs, but I feel like people that would call lawn signs is maybe someone like, it's midsummer, their grass is 2 foot tall, and they haven't had enough forethought to even care about it. And now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Yeah.
And so they're just calling anyone they can. I feel like some of those people are going to call the lawn signs.
There's a fair amount of that. Yes.
They're also going to call the Google business too. But I don't know, like if they go to your website and then you're like, they fill out like a thing like that, automatically, I think filters some people.
Well, I'll tell you what it does gain you, the Google search people. It gains you the customer that is, I don't really want to talk to you. I don't want really anything to do with you. Like I'd rather text. I have 5 customers, at least 5, that I've never met. I've been cutting their grass for like 4 or 5 years. I've never met them. And I just text them. I've never seen their face. Don't know what they look like. I just cut their grass and they send the money over when it's done, and that's it. And that's what that gains you, is the hands-off customer. It's like, looks good, dude. Thanks. So
yeah,
we like those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sorry, if I look down this, I'm not like ignoring you. I'm just trying to make sure your levels are between these 3 little dots, like when you're talking. So that way it's going to sound really good, like when people are on the mower later. So I'm just telling you that, just so you don't. I'm not like trying to,
the smooth, sweet sound of my voice.
Yeah, I'm not trying to I don't know, just like.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I'm not trying to do something else or look at my phone or anything. I just want to make sure, what you're saying is valuable, your time's valuable. And so I want it to be nice. I want it to sound nice. And, so anyway, so what a cool journey. So you bought a few accounts, and so you're kind of dumped right into it. Mm-hmm. And so that means that right away you're having to, learn the billing and all this stuff kind of jump in with both feet, because it's not like you got one customer and then you're learning it with the one. You're kind of,
you
if you had 13
right into
or whatever.
Yeah, it was definitely several long nights on YouTube trying to figure it out. Just being thrown into the wolves in that aspect of it. And it wasn't terribly difficult in the beginning. It was trial by fire. It was learn or don't do it at all. So but we got up running and we've been running. So yeah.
That's really cool. So 6 seasons in, and so now, how many accounts do you have now? I know you obviously got rid of some, picked up some.
So mid-season, right when we started to drop, I believe we were at 43 yards. 43 yards. For only doing that part-time, it's pretty astronomical to do.
Absolutely.
So and the way I have it set up is pretty. It's actually designed by my wife. She got with me in the beginning when I first started like crunching numbers and thinking, hey, should I be doing this? Is this something that I want to do? Whatever. And she said, I have one stipulation: Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Those are the days that you're home. Okay, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and all day Saturday, we're good to go. Okay. But that helps balance that healthy home life that you need to have when doing this. And then, on top of that, I work a regular job to have, and especially in tougher years. But it is, it's definitely been beneficial. So, I mean, and now we're dialing it down because we don't need to work that much.
Right.
It takes away from quality time. So, we could probably expand more, but that leads into its own set of headaches that I'm not really wanting to have.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And what she's saying, that schedule, the Thursday, you're talking about like coming home after your other job.
Correct.
You're not talking about just staying at home.
No,
Tuesday, Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have a regular job for a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And so so because that plus your lawn care business, so those are the only days where you're not going like almost around the clock, completely dark to dark thing. Yeah.
That's why we got a light bar on the front of the mower. Yeah.
And so has that worked out pretty well? Like,
yeah, up until recently, it's been,
it was 43. That's a lot. Like, what if it rains?
It's a nightmare.
What if it rains like on a Wednesday and then that's bleeding into your Thursday?
Then you got to like adjust the days. But I've always adjusted the days where I still am staying true to what I promised. I'm keeping my word as a husband and a father. I'll make sure that I'm still those 2-3 days I'm home. It may not be Tuesday, and I may go 1 or 2 days in a row, but I still make sure that I don't go more than that. And people, unfortunately, people got to sit back and and understand that there's a schedule. So
yeah,
and a lot of my customers are. I mean, they already know what my situation is, that I work full time. I do know what I think it was 43 accounts. That is actually 2 above my limit.
Okay.
So
I was going to ask, like, what do you really want to have?
Honestly, really, like 33 is kind of like where I'd really like to be. And I think that's.
But you're 10 more than that.
I know, it's awful. No, it's honestly, I think that I'd really like to be around 25. And I think at the beginning of this coming season, we'll be there because we got a lot of like one-off customers that recently purchased their homes, and then they just need it taken care of until they get settled in and all that. So that's like an annual, like just a 1 year type thing or a 1 season type thing. So
they're not, all those are not going year round.
No, a lot of them aren't going year round. Well, we'll lose probably 15% at the beginning of the season because we don't. Where a lot of people in the area require that you have a year-round contract or year-round service, I don't offer the year-round service, which makes it more appealing to that clientele.
It's just the Makita battery's done.
Gotcha. So that makes it a little more appealing to those people that don't want to, like, well, I mean, I have one tree in my yard and it's not a leaf-bearing tree.
Right.
Like, I don't need you here year-round.
Yeah.
So and so it's a little more appealing there. I don't have contracts, so it's appealing to a lot of people, and I don't have 100 people working for me, so I get a specific type. But there is a lot of turnaround when it comes down to maintaining that. But I'm okay with it because we've always been able to just keep it going every year. So
there's such a huge market because of most people don't want to do the setup you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but I mean, there's always these like people that pop up in the spring that are like, I don't know, they're doing it for quick money or whatever. But those people, they usually only last 1 season anyway. But I'm saying, so I guess there's some of that you're gonna have to like battle against, but at the same time,
The $20 guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a huge amount of customers like so you that are not doing it just for one season that are willing to take accounts like that. Man, it's a huge doors wide open for that.
Oh yeah. And I stay outside of the gates. And for people that don't understand that are listening, we have a ton of neighborhoods in our area that are gated communities, golf course communities. So I stay outside of the. I think I have one account inside one neighborhood, and I don't do any more than that. I stay out of it. And a lot of the bigger guys that are just stay in the gates, they don't take anything outside. So that's where I can what they're calling scraps, I'm calling quality customers. So and plus, the gates have their own problems, so we try to stay out of there.
Well, I don't think there's really any difference. I mean, I guess I'm one of the ones that I only really stay inside, but
but you got
it's the same
great wide open. You're in the landing like all day though, aren't you?
Yeah, so half is in the regular Reynolds and half is in the landing.
Yeah.
So
I'm spread all the way from Greene County all the way back to Sparta Highway. So
I got you. I have one Sebastian Cove, and then I have 3 on these one Cedar Cove, and then 2 on the little road right across from the marina right here.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's my whole route.
Nice.
So like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's the same. I mean, you pay $125 a year for my pass, and
I pay that for one customer, but at the same time, I also cut his business, and the business is next to his business as well. So it's all stuff that I've acquired because of that one little account. And I think he has maybe 8 square foot of grass in his yard.
Oh, wow.
And the rest of it's just bushes and leaves, which, I'm a huge fan of bushes. So if you got more than 5 in your yard, I won't take you on as a customer. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your, which if people would have seen the setup video, they would have seen it, but like, what is your setup right now? So you have this red Ram 1500 pickup truck.
Yep.
Which is very nice.
Thank you.
Actually, we can turn around. You can see it. It's out here in the driveway. Let me walk around. I have enough cord. Yeah. Oh, we can look on here. Oh, there it is. Look at that. And see, they can still hear us talking just as normal. Or, the audio quality should still be good. But there it is, guys. Man, look at that thing. That thing is nice. It looks, it's the way newer brother to mine that's over there on the left. I guess that'll be on your left too. But yeah, so you just got that. But so tell a little bit about like what is the rest of your setup? You got a what is it? Maybe a 6x12 trailer, I would guess.
It is a 6x10. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Single axle trailer. I don't really have a lot in the because we don't have a lot of space on that trailer, and usually it's just me and one other guy. But I have a 2019, I believe it is, Skag V-Ride 2, the 52-inch, same one I had in the video. I think it was a 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2019. Yeah,
I think it is a 2019. I think you're right. I think you've had it for a little bit. Then let me make sure I'm all the way down. No, you go ahead. Keep going.
And I've changed up a lot of the different things. I still have a BR 600. It's kind of like the staple mark of blowers. It's, I think that's like the somebody tried calling that the area code out here is BR 600 because there's so many of them out here.
Yeah.
And I've got some. I've been trying to stay true to steel. I haven't had any issues actually. We've been reviving a lot of them. I've been getting I'm getting 2 or 3 years out of each handheld at least.
Yeah, that's great.
But obviously that's to maintenance and everything.
Right.
I did have an issue with the V-Ride recently. You were aware of that, where I had to go get the engine replaced on it, and thankfully it was still under warranty. But that makes me, kind of rethink looking at Kohler engines, just because that happened. It had 400 hours on it, and it was like, I had a John Deere that had 1,500 hours on it.
Yeah,
with the Cowie on it. So
that's the EFI.
Yeah,
I can't remember what horsepower is it. Maybe 20 something.
That's 25, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So,
but it's the same one that I have on that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it's the exact same one. But right now, they replaced it. Kohler replaced it with minimal hesitation. They were trying to get me a little bit, but we got the new engine on it. It runs like a champ now, and haven't had any other issues with that mower outside of regular maintenance. It's been a solid. I mean, I'm really, I love the Skag, but I think it's our dealership down there in Milledgeville that has really been the one that, like, it doesn't matter what they sell, I'll continue to buy from them.
I gotcha.
Because their customer service has been, I mean, when that mower went down and I need a mower, I had a loaner for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Which
that's crazy.
Yeah. Which
3 months, that's a long time.
Yeah.
To let you borrow a mower.
It was a down and dirty Gravely, but, we'll take it, but yeah, it was like 61 inch and it was like barely.
It was a big one, though. It wasn't like the cheapest one. Like, it was a big.
No, it was
like
a
on their higher end one that they,
we
has.
could have piled like 4 or 5 people on that thing and taken it down the road. Yeah, you could have done hay rides with that. But so it's I do like the Skag, and like I said, our local dealership down there is Sinclair heavy
hydraulic,
duty. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, they really did good by me, and even after the fact, when I came in with other little small silly issues, it was no charge. It was just they took care of me. So definitely, and they started selling other brands as well. But I definitely.
They got 2 or 3 brands over there.
Yeah,
they have Hustler and something else.
Yep, they got Gravely up there now. They got that Skag. Hustler's been up there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever the other Gravely business shop shut down, they took over the area for selling Gravely. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely love the Skag, and as long as I keep doing this, I'll keep buying those, or if somebody else comes out with something cool, it's reliable. It's got to be reliable. That's the thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, yeah.
So what? Anyway, guys, if you have any questions for Shawn of a guy that he's out, he's still working at a real job. I don't want to downplay it, say it's a factory, but it's a manufacturing place of some kind, whatever you want to call that. And so if you have any questions for him, we can drop those in here. I know there's some general ones. My man Greenscapes Ohio, how you doing? Great. He's mainly helping us with the sound. Lone Wolf Landscaping, how you doing, bud? Sorry if I look over here. I have my phone is acting as the camera, and so I'm looking over here at this laptop. Gregorio Martinez. Yeah, I don't. Thank you for checking on the sound too. Lone Wolf Landscaping. Again, I think I already said that, but thank you for joining from New Jersey. Chat, what's your thoughts on pushing nitrogen this late? I'm in southern Indiana. You can. I think you could. I mean, you're gonna have to be a little careful with it, but
yeah.
But again, they're in cool season turf, so this is like their summer, for us there. So
yeah.
I would say this probably is a time when you can go nitrogen. I wouldn't, because this is like when it is your growing time. So again, actually, the lawn care nut, Alan Hain did a podcast talking about this just like a few days ago. It's called Lawns Across America is what his podcast is called. So I would listen to that because he talked about this exact thing. Because I'm not in cool season turf. So like this is a little, well, he's in southern Indiana. I don't know. That could be, it's kind of transition line. You're close to there. Zachary, are we going to buy the new 590? Have you heard about that? So they have a new, Red Max and Husqvarna has it. They have a new, it's a blower, but it basically has it's the first backpack blower that has like the auto tune, like some of the big chainsaw. I think Husqvarna was the first one that has it, but Steel has it now too. Like on some of the big logger saws where it like automatically adjusts the fuel ratio, air ratio, but they have that on a blower now. It's already out. I already have a few friends that have it. So that thing is 1,245 CFM.
Jeez.
So whereas the BR600 is like around in that 700 CFM. I think it's actually like 680 something, 670 something. So it is by far like the most strong blower on the market right now. And it's pretty cool. So it's still a carburetor. So it's not EFI, but it's that kind of idea. So yeah, I'm not sure. Brandon, is that Brandon Schubert? He keeps changing his profile name. Do you know Brandon Schubert?
The name sounds familiar.
He's local. I'm not sure exactly what he does. Something with Bughouse, as well. Or that's what he does. And part of our Tuesday night group for a long, long time. Brandon said, "Let me see that tattoo." Shawn has a couple tattoos. All I have, I think he's referencing because one of the there's a video that was for the expo, and it had like a mower tattoo, but they were fake. But they're worn off now. But it had like some push mowers, that were there. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about? They're like those temporary tattoos, and actually, So they're gone, unfortunately. I wish they would stay for a long time. It was cool. I had these two mowers, like going this way, one this way, and this way. But anyway,
I don't know if I'd put a mower on me, man.
No,
No, I'm all right.
But
I put a lot of dumber stuff on me, but definitely not a mower.
what is tough about the Skag V-Ride I'm about to buy when I'm in East Tennessee with tall fescue? So Shawn has a lot of experience with V-Ride. I think it's great, and I think it would do great in tall fescues.
Yeah. So really, a lot of it, your guys' grass is so much different up there. And one of the things that I've learned about, northern grass is that, but
you have family in Kentucky, so it's not like you're just sitting here in Georgia and just
right. Yeah,
I lived speculating about what's going.
Yeah,
there.
No, I lived in Kentucky for like 15 years. So, no, it's everybody there cuts everything higher. Like if you're at 4 inches, you're too low. Like that's the mindset there, and which is understandable. Down here we have what I call the Georgia hodgepodge. It's about 35 different types of weeds with a sprinkle of grass in it. And so I think what the durability is right now, I'm averaging mowing over probably 50 anthills a day.
Yes,
mulling over them.
As soon as it rains, they come up.
Oh yeah, they sprout up everywhere. I think as far as the toughness is concerned, it's really all about the quality of the deck, and that's what The power is going to come from the engine, and there's about 50 to 100 different types of engines out there that you can really choose from, and they all have similar power. You just got to pick based off reliability. But as far as the quality of the actual mower itself, you always have to look for decks and spindles. And I have yet to see a mower that matches up to the Skag when it comes to the quality of spindles. And, obviously the quality of deck, there's several out there that have a very good quality of deck. But that thick steel, I can't remember what the gauge is on the deck. But
so it's the Velocity Plus, maybe?
Yes.
Velocity.
Yeah.
I know there's little renditions. It might be Velocity Plus 3, Velocity Plus
right.
something.
But that's
Mine
what I
seems
lean
quiet.
towards, that. And then the obviously, the tire size has everything to do with it. And I felt like, because I had the same John Deere your dad has. And the tire size was a huge factor for me because, it's got bigger wheels and tires. And for me, I cut a lot of really steep hills and a lot of big, and that's why I got a stand on was because of that. And I feel like the Skag is able to grab and hug those inclines. I mean, you can almost, in certain situations, you can almost mow it vertically. I mean, it's a great mower. It really is.
And what size are the tires of yours, do you think?
I'd have to look it back up.
It might be a 23, I'm guessing. Probably in that 23, 24-inch size.
Yeah.
So someone saying, I love my V-Ride, going to transition the fleet over. Now, the sit-down Skags will have that deck as well.
Yep.
But if you compare that stand-on to, I don't know. Like I said, there are some other competing ones, like the Toro Grandstand or whatever. People love that one.
Yeah, the Pro Stance and all that.
Yes, the Pro Stance. So that's the Gravely. Now, that's way better than the like the Gravely decks. I don't know. I just don't feel like they're that great. Just like the way they're designed, they're kind of more square. Again, there's several people that are on here that I'm friends with that swear by the Gravely mowers, but see, I've owned a few of them, and I just don't think
I've had really bad luck with Gravely.
Yeah, I just don't think the cut. Well, we can get by with, because of the way our turf is, we can get by with, it doesn't need to be perfect, because of especially, when you're mowing weeds, we're mowing it kind of short, and it works fine. If you have sharp blades and stuff, anything almost will work here. But, when someone in Tennessee or whatever, so I feel like the taller the grass, the taller you're mowing the grass, the more, picky I think the deck needs to be in order for it to do a good job, because it's very, very easy for it to miss or
now in that area there are a lot of people and I don't mean to cause any offense here, but they're really more concerned about stripes than they're really anything else.
Yeah.
So if you're looking
that looks awesome.
If you want a good striping mower, the V-Ride, I mean, You get underneath. They got big rollers underneath it that help with the stripe factor. I mean, when you mow it higher, it lays down that grass each direction. As long as you're mowing it right, you know how to mow it. I mean, well, I'm able to do it with my weeds down here too.
Yes,
and
yeah.
mowing it 3 inches. So, I mean, it's if you're on the fence about it, I'd highly recommend at least or take one for a demo for a week. You know,
Yeah,
try it out.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
'cause they're great mowers.
And what would you say? Let's talk a little bit about, because this is what you do right now is a hard mental game, because you have kids, right? You have a wife, you have a lot of things going on in your life in general. And talk a little bit about, because there's a lot of people out here. So yeah, Charles Lynch, his question was, cut is amazing, almost 40 ponies, easy to clean, stable on slopes. He says he's going to transition his whole fleet over to V-Ride.
Right.
Sorry, I wanted to be respectful of him and mention that, before we move on to the thing. But talk a little bit about just like because this is hard. Like, you have kids, you're bringing them to school, you're going to your other job, you're doing this job, especially during the summer, because again, you don't have the year-round setup. So right now, you're able to come on here podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you have a little bit more of an eased mind, during this time of year when you're doing less lawns. But talk a little bit about like the battle, because there's so many people. There's a lot of people in your, and probably most people are not doing 43 accounts. But let's say just someone that's got, I don't know, 8 accounts or 5 or whatever.
And they're struggling with it. Yeah,
right. They're doing their job, and then they're trying to do this after, and maybe they just have a few yards and they're starting out, and they have equipment that's breaking down on them, and just all these things. Like, talk a little bit, because you're living this. For the last 6 years, you're doing both, and so talk a little bit about that, because I do this all the time. I did 9 properties today. Like, that's just, I don't know. It's just only I've never been to a real job. So like, it's kind of my bucket list though. Like, I want to work in a drive-through one time, because I've never done that before, and I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And I want to work at a factory sometime, because
So I mean, here's the thing. Here's how I do it.
Like, how do you make it through 6 years of doing it like that?
So having like a really cool wife, that's like that's right there with it. I mean, it's all about communication and compromise on both ends. My wife's a full-time student right now. She's getting ready to finish up, and she goes to school full time, and then comes home and deals with the family. We got both kids in karate, and then I'm taking them to school in the mornings. I get up, I go to work. It's about scheduling. Okay. I have 4 calendars on my phone. Okay. And that's, and I have to separate. I have a lawn one. I have a family one, a work one, kids, like everything is, and they get checked every day. So organization is one, keeping tabs on everything and marking it in your calendar to keep organized. And the other thing is to know when to stop and know when to pump the brakes. Catch a break. Okay. Well, hey, like, we got a long weekend ahead of us, and people are going to want this done. I'm going to take a vacation day at work and knock out all my Saturday accounts so I can have the whole weekend with the family. And, making sure that I'm present at those events, that, those types of things with the kids, because, I don't want to be an absentee father. I want to make sure that my face is seen at every one of those little events. So it's all about scheduling, and then, having a partner that will work with you and understands that you're trying to support the family, and you're trying to make ends meet and provide a lifestyle for everybody, that she's willing to work just as hard, if not harder, to achieve that goal. So while she has been by my side and running this business and been out there and cut grass with me. You've seen her out there with a weed eater. Running around, like, to achieve what my vision was and to do the things that I want to do. She's been a huge cheerleader, which is why when she said, "Hey, I'm going back to school," there was no question about it. It's do your thing. I'll keep working. We'll make it work out so you can achieve what you want to achieve. So it's all about having, a really good teammate in your personal life. If I didn't have her, it would be, it would be.
I don't think it's really about compromise. I think it's about both of y'all being on board, because you're kind of both into you're both putting 100% into this. It's not really compromising. You're both having to give up your whole life, to do this mission. And I think, like you're saying, like, if you, like, that would be, impossible, if like, guys out there doing this, like if you even gonna run your lawn care business, I mean, I think your spouse, like you're gonna have to be on board with this thing, like because it's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be weather. There's gonna be things, breakdowns.
The other thing is this is like, so there's guys that I work with that at my full-time job. They're, I'm trying to get like you. I'm trying to be like you. Big money. They throw that phrase, big money out. They're trying to be like you. Well, okay, if you're trying to be like me, then be like me. What did you do after work yesterday? Well, I went home and had a beer. Okay, well, I went out and I mowed 3 yards.
Yeah.
How much money did you make after work yesterday? Well, I didn't make any. Okay, well, I made, $150, $200 outside of work.
Yeah.
So if you want to succeed and if you want to make the money, then you can't be scared of doing the work. You can't be, oh, well, man, I worked all day in the factory and I went home and I deserve that beer. No, you don't. If you got a good back and a good set of legs on you, you don't deserve that beer. You deserve that beer when you retire. It's time to get out and work. That's, and I think that's, we can do political if you want, but that's part of the problem with the nation right now is people are afraid to work.
Yeah.
They want money handed to them. If you go out and you get on it, you go get a mower. I tell them, I'm like, look, you go down to Alabama to Safford Equipment. They're not the greatest quality. And they finance 4 years, no interest. That was my thing. Okay. I can finance this whole rig. And I got 4 years with zero interest, no money down. At the very least, I can afford the payment. If everything goes bust, I have a fancy lawnmower. If I lose all the accounts, I can afford that payment. There's no excuse for it. If you're working a full-time job right now, you can pick up a couple yards here and there. There's 3 guys that I work with right now that have 10, 12 accounts on the side. And that's all because of just running my mouth. And they go out and they do it and they make it happen. They're pressure washing, they're painting, they're making money, and that's, if you feel, and I understand, like a lot of people, they'll get into like a rut. Like I went through rut 3 years ago where it was like, what am I doing? Like and it's tough. It's hard. Just, okay, well, if you're feeling that way, it's time to take a break. It's time to sit down and take a day off and not think about that mower, not think about any of this stuff. Drive to the next town over and go have lunch and just get away from it. Because you can't sit here and wallow around in your own mess all the time and not have, because your mental health is important. We talk about on Tuesday nights. Men's mental health is a serious, serious thing. And if you don't catch yourself, a couple hour break away from the noise and the chaos, the kids, the wife, the bills, all that stuff, if you don't get away from that for at least, a couple hours, a month, then you're going to go crazy. You're not going to want to do it. You're going to struggle. You're going to have mental health issues. Catch a break, take a deep breath, walk off, go get a sandwich somewhere different. You know what I mean? Don't go through the drive-through at Mickey D's. Go to Jersey Mike's. You know what I mean? Do something different. Get out of your deal. So just change it up. That's the big thing is just change it up. The hurricane that just came through. Okay, we got time off. What are we doing? Let's go to the mountains. All right, cool. I had 1 extra day off of work. Straight to the mountains. It was just the break I needed. I'm back to go. Let's go again. Okay. That's all it is. It's all about recognizing your mental health and where your threshold is.
And I think, well, you and your wife are both on board with this plan, but I think guys out there, it's important to have a plan. Like if you're going to, if you're going to go buck wild for 7 days a week, you can't do that for 20 years and expect your wife or your husband or whatever to be on board with that, because that's just, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for anyone. And so what is your plan? Like, are you always going to have some on the side and try to work these few days off like forever? Is it going to change like when your wife gets out of school, or like what is like your thoughts? Because obviously y'all have a plan for this. Like, is it always going to look exactly like it looks right now?
It's changed 3 times since yesterday. It's always it's always different.
Yeah.
So the original goal was when she got back to work, because in the nursing field, it's another nursing degree for her. So when she got back to work, that because of the high rate of money and the good insurance and all that noise, I could just literally quit my day job and ride my mower off into the sunset. And that's what I just kept saying. I'm just going to ride the mower off into the sunset and just be that, lawn care guy. But things have changed a little bit, and it's like looking at it, and some things have happened at, my regular job where it's okay. I've already been there, 16, 17 years now. I've already got a massive retirement plan with them. I've got a whole nother retirement plan set up, because I had set it up for lawn care. So that way I could, continue to do that. But Today, my head is okay. Once she gets back to work, I'll dial it down to where I'm work a couple days a week, and then I have the weekends with the family. So dial it down to 15 or so yards.
Oh, I gotcha.
Something
Yes.
like that. But that may change and it just, the guy I've been having working with me, he's wanting to, take on more responsibility. So we'll see. He doesn't drive a truck that well, so we'll see how he operates a mower. He's good on a weed eater, but
I say there's no problem with that if you want to dial back your lawn business just to make your life more enjoyable. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I may just keep the same amount, and he already knows all the yards and the accounts, and just send him out there and just pay him extra to do it, and just let him operate it while I run the business side of it. We don't know. We'll know more next season, and how it all works out.
Is that when it comes to pass? Is like sometime next year?
She will graduate next month, and
oh wow,
we'll know. She's already got 3 or 4 job offers, so we'll know more then. But hey, it may change again by the beginning of the season. I may get back in that beginning season fever and be like, let's go cut some grass, and do it for a couple more years. At this point, everything's slowly gotten paid off, and it's like that's really the goal, is just to pay everything off and have enough money to go on an extra vacation a year, and however many yards I need to keep in order to accomplish that, because I'm not trying to have this huge deal and have all these huge problems and all that. So like I said, it's I've been with this company for a long time. I started there through the temp service, and I've been there 16, 17 years now. So it's been a good career, but I really enjoy lawn care, we'll see what happens. We don't have no idea what's going to happen. So,
well, as things get better, but I'm saying there's no shame in that. If you wanted to close your lawn care business and stay with your other company, I was just wondering, what is the plan? And I think you guys out there listening in this situation, you need to have some kind of plan, because that's how you're going to keep your whole team on board, your wife, and this goes the same if we have employees or whatever. They got to kind of know, okay, it's hard and we're doing this right now, but we're trying to get to this, Yeah,
you gotta have a doomsday. You gotta have a worst possible case scenario. I always have a doomsday, okay, if everything goes bad now, what are we doing? And if you set the bar really low, you can always accomplish the best, right? My expectations are way down here, so that way I surprise myself every time. So, yeah.
Well, and the great thing, your wife being in the medical field, will never be a problem getting a job. People are going to continue to have problems and get sick, and that's not going to change ever. So and it's very few people that want to put the work to to be certified in that, right? That's a long time of school. We have it easy, in the lawn business, I'm doing my course for my commercial applicator's license right now, and it's basically covers 20 chapters that you're going over. But again, and even that's a pain, because you have to study, you have to know all the different bugs and all this stuff for the 20 chapters. But man, it would be hard for me to want to learn stuff for many years, in college. That would, man. So the people that are going to do that, it's going to continue to shrink, as people get lazier, and the same goes for lawn care. If you think about 50 years ago, probably double the amount of people now have a lawn service than had one 50 years ago.
Sure.
People have a lawn service now that they're not rich people, but it's almost becoming it's just like a normal thing. Just like they pay their water bill and they pay the cable and stuff, and they have a lawn guy, right? Mm-hmm. Even for normal people, and I'm one, and I think that's good. It's good for us, because they're just continuing to broaden, more and more yards out there, and seems like fewer and fewer people that actually want to do it, for more than one season.
Right.
So there's fewer people doing it. I think this goes the same for plumbing or any of these trade kind of things. Mm-hmm. Fewer people want to do it, and more demand. Yep. So that's going to go the same way in the medical thing. Yep. Obviously, same way in lawn and landscape. There's nothing going away in the factory. Tires and stuff are not going away.
Nope.
Even electric cars have tires on them. So
they do, and they are full swing in how to repair those sound suppressing tires right now. So we have a whole product line now, which is wild. I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's not my bag up there. But Yeah, no, they've been in my office for this whole year, dialing in how to repair sound suppressing tires, which for those of you who don't know, all the new electric cars, they have foam inserted into the tires to take the road noise out of the tire.
I gotcha.
So
Because that becomes loud when you don't have an engine.
Yeah, when you don't have an engine, the only sound you're hearing is that tire just,
Yeah.
So they stuff it with foam, and it actually makes it quieter. The problem is what they adhere that foam with is like this goop. It's like an extruded like rubber paste that the second you put your hands on it, it's everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So in order to get that out of there to be able to repair the tire, it's a whole process.
And the foam's in there too. So like,
right. So yeah. So how to repair that? So we were just at SEMA last week with all of it on display on how to repair it properly and all that. So it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool thing. I mean, because they're loud, even on, gas vehicles, modern gas vehicles, they're quiet, and they're running. So that's cool. So I didn't even know about the sound suppressing tire. I don't know. I just thought they had normal ones on there,
right.
Which I mean, a lot of them have normal ones on there now, but
yeah.
But in the future, I could definitely see where they're gonna.
Oh yeah, I'll send you some pictures of them. They're pretty neat looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to come on here.
Yeah,
I mean, he stopped during the week on his way home. He still lives like 20 minutes from here, and he literally took his time to come on here live on the podcast. Tony's Lawn Care Talk on any of the audio platforms. I didn't disclose that here on YouTube. I usually don't do them live on YouTube like this too. I just figured, hey, why not? So yeah, on any audio platform, that's where most podcasts are. I so appreciate you taking your time to do this and to come on here. And you're going to help a lot of people because there's just as many people that are doing this part-time than
right.
That are like me doing it full-time. There's a lot of people doing it part-time.
Yeah.
And there's no problem with that. There's no shame in that.
Nope.
And that's what I hope I portray too. Hey, if you want to go your whole life and you just enjoy mowing 5 yards on the side, I have no problem with that. Just because you enjoy the mow and you just want to, I think that's cool.
The other thing with it is for a lot of people, myself including, that mowing is therapy. Being on a mower and having headset in and listening to something, it's therapeutic. It's a way to disconnect and not have the daily deal going on. So I don't blame anybody that wants to just do it part-time. It's that stress relief. It's that way. A lot of people that are just homeowners go out and cut. That's their time to reflect. Well, if you get to do that for several hours a day, you get to kind of flush out a lot of the junk and a lot of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make it full-time and quit your full-time job, more power to you. It's not the path I chose. I wanted to in the beginning, but everybody's different. I think that, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, if you're struggling with it, make a change, figure out where the root cause is. My dad gave me some great advice. I'll portray everybody, not to turn this into a therapy session or anything, but
no, it's good.
a long time ago, I was dealing with some issues, and my dad said, look, if you're happy 51% of the time, work on it and figure it out. If you're unhappy 51% of the time, leave. It's that thin of a line. Do the math, figure it out. If you're unhappy, don't do it. If majority of the time you're unhappy, get out of it. Your mental health is not worth it. 100%. So if I can offer anything to anybody, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Take care of up here.
Well, and I think, and there also is a percentage of people, younger people and stuff that we do have to find something we enjoy, because there are some people that it doesn't matter what job they have, they will never enjoy anything they're doing, because at the end of the day, it is part of the curse that we have from Adam and Eve. We do have to work. Like, it's not like, I don't think you'll ever find something where it's just like, oh, I'm just sitting on the beach and I just love it like that. I think you have to love it in a work kind of way. That's not a good way to describe it, but you have to love the product and love parts about it, and not all parts about it will be perfect,
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. That, hey, if you enjoy it most of the time, and that's what you're saying too. You're saying even if it's something you love, you're not going to love it 100%.
No,
right? You're loving it 51%.
Yeah. Tomorrow might be 80, but right now it's 51. But if it steeps down to 49, get out. Get out. That final line. Get out.
You mean get out of your real job or get out of your lawn care?
Get whatever's making you unhappy.
Or either one.
Whatever's making you unhappy. You know, that applies to relationships, to every aspect of life. 51 and 49. Every aspect of your life. It's that fine of a line to get out of. So, wars were lost on fewer. So, but yeah.
And also, you know, it can be, you know, there can be bad people that we work for in our business and bad people that we work for at a real job that can be. Oh, there's maybe we love what we're doing, but we don't like the people that we're working for at a real job.
Yeah,
you know,
apply that metric to a customer.
Right.
Like I've had several. I had a lady that you used to cut for that was just the most rotten human being I had ever met in my life.
I tried to tell you that before you even started.
Man,
I
didn't listen to you.
Be cautious on that.
Oh yeah, should have known when I saw your tattoos. You were a big pile of garbage. I was like, yeah. Well, here's a contractor's lien if I don't get paid. How about that?
Yeah.
So.
She still owes me a few $100s. So.
Yeah, I got my money out of her. So good luck, lady. Yeah, get that Kohler electric push mower out there and figure it out. I'm not cutting your grass anymore.
Well, Kohler is now they sold off the power equipment part, because they make toilets and faucets and a million things. And so still all the same people run it, all that, but for some reason they had to sell off part of it. And so that was they sponsored several events at the expo and stuff. So it's called Relco now.
Is it called Relco? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that has one of them, and it seems like it's pretty good for the smaller yards. No quarrel on it.
You mean he has one of the new engines?
No, that's older one. It's like when they first came out with it.
I'm talking about Kohler engines as of 2 months ago. It's not Kohler engines anymore.
No. I'm talking about the electric stuff.
Oh, electric stuff.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah, I have one. I have one right there. I mowed my front yard with it before you got here. It's a blast. Yeah. I love it. It's my favorite mower. If I just had all the time in the world, so you can't even hear it running. It doesn't vibrate or anything. It's awesome. And even at the expo, I ran some of there's several companies that have the stand-on electric mowers, commercial ones with 10-hour battery life, and they're super expensive. But man,
they're heavy.
Well, and that is the favorite mower that I've ever ran. I ran one. I think it's actually made by Ferris, but it's a steel one.
Right.
And that is the favorite mower I've ever ran before. I ran it this year, and I'm like, man, just something about how it feels. It is. You don't realize how much a normal one just vibrates just when it's on. Even with the blades off and everything. When you're riding one one of these commercial electric ones, I'm talking about, the thing. It was my favorite. I've never ran a mower that was just felt as nice and as peaceful as that. So that surprised me, and I was like, this thing's stupid, And I've
heard a lot of negative chatter about that mower online, but yeah, that's interesting. It's a good take.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was incredible because I ran it for several minutes there, and I was like, man, this thing. I was not expecting. I'm like, this is just this whole thing's because I've never owned a ride-on electric. I have an electric push mower, and I run all the Milwaukee tools, which I really enjoy, but I've never had a big. I never really used a big electric mower, but man, I mean, it was nice. It was really, really nice. Surprisingly nice. So I loved how it was. And I think all the electric mowers, they're going to have that same battle that you talk about with the cars, with the tires. They're going to have that battle because the blades are still loud.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know how even our gas machines, a lot of that noise is the wah, just the blades,
right.
And they don't have belts, but still running same blades and stuff. So that is part of the
air turbulence makes
right.
That
yeah,
sound.
that's what you hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I loved it. I mean, who knows what will happen in the future? But I mean, I liked it for my piece. It was. I was like, man, if this wasn't $40,000, whatever, it would be tempting because for a solo guy, it can easily last, even more than a whole day, and you just plug it in at home. And I think it will. I think eventually that. Because gas machines are getting more expensive and electric stuff is getting less. Just how it does, with the cars.
There's I got a friend. His son works for this place up in Ohio, and they're apparently one of the biggest lawn care outfits in the state. And they have they're all robotic, where they're doing entire neighborhoods, and they've got like 50 or 60 rigs going out with multiple robots on each one going out and doing yards, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to start moving towards that in areas like Chicago or obviously California where they're trying to, get rid of gas everything, so we'll see where the future comes. What holds for us in the future, but I still like gas powered, and I like the noise. So
Yeah, yeah. I like it too. But I guess I enjoy it less just because I've literally ran it every day, all day for my whole life.
Yeah.
And so man, I love, because especially with the large backpack blowers I'm running right now, even your hearing protection, I still have ringing at night.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just some of those, it's an 80cc engine, that's on your back, and I don't know, even with hearing protection, it's just so loud. And certain things are not, obviously, like trimmers and actually the mowers are some of the quietest part. You can still listen to podcasts in your buds, and it's good. But
right.
I don't know, but just in general, man, if I could have something that has no noise or little noise and it lasts all day and customers wouldn't even know when I came and went, I'm on board with that.
Yeah. No doubt.
Even these new Milwaukee batteries that came out, they're the Forge ones, and I have some of the big ones. So basically, it's like an electric vehicle battery. So instead of having the little metal bridges from one AA to the next, it's almost kind of like all one. It's almost like I wouldn't say it's a sheet, or I wouldn't say they're glued, but that's how they make. No tabs. It's called tabless. But you understand that. So so on a Milwaukee battery, these new batteries, incredible. You can have that thing, the 12.0 at full charge. Run it completely dead, and you can throw it right back on the charger. It's not even hot or anything, even during the summer.
Yeah.
And I have one of the new superchargers that came out in about 20 minutes, or the thing's full again.
Nice.
So it's crazy how it's, things are kind of progressing like that. So having that technology, even on a string trimmer or something, it's kind of a game changer, because they're charging up pretty much as fast as you can drain it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. And that, the Crest brand was one of the first ones that have the tabless battery, but now all of them are going to be getting on board with that. And Milwaukee obviously has, they're kind of one of a big tool company, and they have them. And I've loved that, just because when you have all of them even sitting there in my truck, I want to pull out that Forge one, just because I know I can drain it down and charge it back up super quick. And and also because it doesn't have those little bridges and it doesn't get hot, there's no power drop off. Even there is on technically technically batteries, it should be just kind of stable all the way.
Right.
But there is some fade. But on this new one, it's not. It's it's 100% power right till the end. And like I said, it doesn't get hot, and it lasts for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's interesting, how it is changing. And they cost the same amount as the old ones.
Nice. Nice.
But anyway, Shawn needs to get to rolling. He has a family, he has kids, all this stuff, and he was actually wasn't able to get out of his work quite as fast as he thought. All that stuff. So I just so appreciate your friendship most of all. And it's cool to have this audio podcast. It's cool because every week I try to get someone on, someone on the phone out of state or whatever. So so far I make $0 on it. But it's
okay.
Yeah, but it's a cool
it's
thing.
Information. Yeah.
Well, it's just building friendships in the lawn industry for all of us, and then all the people love listening to it. It has, we're almost at 40,000 downloads, so it's going pretty well.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's still real small, in the sphere of, if you have a podcast, but mine is, semi-new. I've only done it for a little while, and so people are enjoying it, and so that's really cool. So it's such an honor to be able to have you on here and be able to talk more, because on a YouTube video we have to kind of it's got to be 10 minutes or whatever. When we do your lawn care set video, but on podcasts it's kind of the opposite. People don't want to listen to a 10-minute podcast. They want the longer it is, the better. If we did this for 4 hours, people would like it, the most. So that's just kind of, when you're mowing, you don't want to switch them all the time to another podcast and all that. So do you have anything that you want to tell the people before we go? Someone that, hey, they're working in a factory, they're starting their business just like you did 6 years ago. You have anything you want to leave them with? Because there's definitely some people out there that are in this same, and they'll listen to it, even next summer and stuff. This stuff isn't really time sensitive. So you did give them some tips. Mental tip, but.
I mean, everything that I said before, and then if there's anything else, it would be patience It's we talk about it on Tuesday nights. It's one of the most common things that a man can go through is having a lack of patience. Like just look, it's gonna happen. Whatever your goal is, you can make it happen if you just have a little bit of patience and you put forth the work. If you're working a full-time job like me and then you start a lawn business on the side with just the idea of, making some extra cash, okay, great, do that. If it gets bigger and you want to pursue more, then do that. But do what you say you're going to do and put forth the effort. Don't excuse my language, half butt anything.
Yeah.
All right, do it. Put it 100%. All the time, and it works out. I mean, if you do you don't have to do everything by the book, or there's no real book on this. Every situation's different, every person's different, every customer's different. Just be consistent with yourself and hold forth your goal, and it'll happen, man. It just, like I said, be patient and have a good support system on your back, and everything will be just fine. It really will.
And tell people, because you have do you have like Instagram and TikTok and stuff? Like, how can, because you have one for your landscaping business. Like, if someone wants to reach out to you, hey, they have the
quickest way to get a hold of me, or really if you want to see what we're doing, would probably be TikTok, and which is funny as it is, but you can look us up. It's Cutting Grass, Kicking Ass on TikTok, and, and we got a bunch of videos. It's usually whenever like the worst possible case scenario happens, like we're getting ready to run over a propane torch with the mower, like that happened.
So are you like putting stuff on there like every week, every day,
it's
or
when it happens.
Whenever you
it's
feel
just,
the inspiration to put on there?
Yeah. So, and there's access to the website from there. We got a swag shop and t-shirts and all that stuff. So yeah, Cutting Grass, Kicking Ass on TikTok, or Thompson's Lawn Service on Facebook. It's usually the best ways to get a hold of us.
And so send me the link for that. And so guys, if you're listening on audio, by the time see the YouTube, it'll be on YouTube forever. Like, it's on there now. Like, when we're done, it's already on there. But the audio one, there's like a couple like interviews like in line. But anyway, I'll by the time, if you guys are listening to this on audio, I'll have his TikTok link in the description box if you send it to me. Send it to me later, and that way you can just click it, and check from there. And so, again, thank you so much for your time. You're out here in the fight, just like all of us, and it's great to have you as a friend. I really, really value your friendship. You're like you're in a top group of people, like in my whole life, that are some of the coolest people that I know. So
same here. Absolutely.
It's really cool to have friends in the lawn business. It's really, really neat. It's always neat for me when I meet someone that's, I met a guy the other day and I had no idea that he was in the lawn business, and he was, and it's just a cool thing, because you instantly know a lot about the hustle that goes along with that. If you meet someone that, is in the lawn business.
It's the dirty forehead nod. It's what it is. It's
because someone that, man, like, most people just don't even understand, like what it takes, to be able to do 30, 40 yards a week, when it's 100 outside and all that.
Yeah.
People just don't even understand the amount of effort that it takes to even complete that.
Yep.
And to do that for a number of years, obviously, it's just, so you just automatically have this when you meet someone that, is doing that same thing. So that's really, really cool. And that's what's really cool about this podcast, just building friendships between each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had friendship with you anyway, so it's definitely cool to be able to get you real life, here.
Yeah.
Locally. So,
and I'll come back anytime. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, and it'll be good. People get a lot of stuff out of it, and who knows what we can do. The guys that are open the new Bobcat dealership, they're gonna, on the grand opening day, I'm supposed to go down there and like set up the podcast. I'm supposed to have a table in the corner, and like people that are there.
Oh, nice.
Or people that I know locally, they can stop by. Boom, we do this. I need to get like a little banner or something so it looks a little more professional. Anyway. So who knows what can happen, even locally, that's cool. Yeah. Like, it goes from that. And so, and that's just part of us reaching out and being friends with each other and just building our network.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what this is a tool really for. Like I said, so that's really cool. So thank you for coming on tonight. Tell your kids and your wife we said hello.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Just thank you for making a trek over here and running the old Ram truck over here, and man, that thing's beautiful. I want to get one like that once I get a little more grown up. Yeah,
it's offensively red.
I love it. I'm a bold color kind of man. So my wife, she tries to tone that down in me, but like if I go to the store and I pick out shoes, right? I want bright color.
Yep.
You know, something like that's just. Some of that is not good, but that's just how I see it. Like, why would I just get something that's just like brown or tan or something like that? Like, I'm not a neutral color kind of guy.
No.
So I have a lot of neutral colors in my life, but that's just, because my wife's helping me like, hey, you know, we need to have,
You don't need to line
we need to
green
be
shoes.
civilized a little bit.
Yeah.
Because back in the day before I was married, I'd be uncivilized. I mean, I had like leopard shoes, you know, just like all kind of stuff, you know, like, because I just didn't want to buy ones that are just normal, that are just like every ones you see all the time. So anyway, I think red vehicles are super cool. Like even like you see like someone that, like yellow or like, you know, any kind of bold color like that, I think is really, really neat. I don't like the neutral color, like, you know, silvers, golds, you know, those, I don't know. You don't even notice like a car rolling down the road, you know, with that. Yeah. And so like, I like the bold ones. I like black, you know, red, like these bold yellow, and even white's kind of like, I like white. But I like all the bold colors but I really like red. And then you have it with, what do they call that package?
It's the Nightshade package. So it's
black
basically
grill.
murdered out. All the grill, the headlights, all the emblems are all blacked out.
Even the little things that say 1500 and stuff are black as well.
Yep.
Which is cool. So that is, and the wheels.
Yep.
But it's interesting because there's different packages, because sometimes they'll have the black wheels, but then they'll have like the chrome grill or whatever. You know what I mean? I guess there's different ways that they kind of lay that out.
I believe it's called the Nightshade Edition is what it's called.
So you saw that online and you're like, hey, that's what sucked you in. You saw that black grill and you're like, that's it.
Yeah, well, you know, once
click order.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was the only one that had low mileage, was 4-wheel drive and a V8 that wasn't like $85,000. You know what I mean? So like, you know, and it wasn't a Chevy or a Ford, you know, because we're having issues with those. So
it's 4-wheel drive too as well?
Yes, yeah. So good truck so far. We'll see how it lasts.
How many miles do you have on it now?
50,000.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So
it's not even broke in yet.
No. I'm giving it a lead foot right now. So
don't do that. Just take it easy.
No, you got to break it in right.
Yeah, I'm a grandpa driver, so like I don't. So I don't know about that lead foot driving, but that's
No, I get on the freeway. I'm doing like 5 under. It's like, but back roads for some reason, it's go.
Well, thank you, bud. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Have a great rest of your night and a great week. I know I've ended the show like 100 times, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore. All right, that's it. All right, see you guys. We're out. I got to figure out how to end this.